Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, this is like the third article that I find regarding the peace negotiations between Ukraine and Russia. This article comes from an Arab news outlet, and it states that the United States wants to pressure Ukraine into dropping its demands for negotiations with Russia, or at least be a little bit more mellow towards Russia, let's put it this way. And they would like, the United States, according to this report, would like to the war to end this winter. Now, I don't know, it's a lot of articles that are contradicting one another. I had another article stating that actually the Americans, another report coming from White House, the Americans think that peace negotiations between Ukraine and Russia will start on the second half of 2023. Now this one, and this is the title, U.S. wants Russia-Ukraine peace talks this winter to end war, officials say. Now this article comes from Al Mayadeen, and this is actually from November 9th, 2022, and the source is NBC News. An NBC News report says some U.S. and Western officials believe that neither Russia nor Ukraine can achieve all of their goals in the Ukraine war and want diplomacy to begin with the aim of stopping the conflict. Well, I don't know if I would look at this in an objective way. United States is winning here, okay? The problem is, what is their goal? They wanted to drain Russia. Russia did not crack. So that was the goal. Are they done? Is that all the support they're able to muster? I mean, they already gave them about almost $20 billion in military equipment and so on, and maybe the Western Europe will start, breaking away and say, you know what, it's enough, it's enough. We tried from February until November, December now, in half of a month. And it's time to plan B. Plan B, stop. We couldn't do it. The Russians couldn't do it. Let's call it a draw. I don't know. It's more complicated than that. But let's see what these guys are saying. The United States is nudging Ukraine to seriously consider the idea of entering negotiations with Russia this winter to stop the ongoing conflict, as it doubts none of the two parties can achieve all its goals on the battlefield, NBC News reported on Wednesday. Well, the United States already achieved its goal, and its goal is to have the war continue. That's the goal. It's not it's good as it is, and wait for Russia to crack. That's what they're waiting. Ukraine, the leaders of Ukraine, the kosher four little pigs over there, the guys in charge, they are okay. They're okay with that. They're in power, they are famous, they are showing, at least Zelensky is showing everywhere. They're invited, they're important, they demand from Germany, from Italy, from everyone. They demand everything. And if you don't, to France, and if they don't cough up money or support, they blame you. So they have tremendous power at the shade of the United States. All right? Without the United States, these guys will be gone and no importance to them whatsoever. So this is the only country here is losing is the nation of Ukraine. That's the biggest loser. And then Russia. The weasels on top are winning. United States is winning. The citizens of Europe are losing. The leaders of Europe so far are winning because they're not kicked out of the office. So everything is good for those guys. So let's see how long we can keep going with this. Last week, U.S. National Security Advisor Weasel Jake Sullivan met with President Volodymyr Zelensky and other senior Ukrainian officials and raised the need for a diplomatic solution to the conflict, emphasizing that Kiev's leverage in any possible talks with Moscow would be strengthened, as per the report, which did not give clear details on how such leverage will be strengthened. Several US and Western officials believe that neither Ukraine nor Russia will have the ability to take over the whole country and want both parties to enter negotiations this winter, as fighting is expected to slow down, the report said, adding that officials doubt Ukraine can remove Russian troops from the occupied areas, the report said. The United States and its allies consider having this winter Turkish President Erdogan mediate potential peace talks between Ukraine and Russia. Erdogan said that he's going to call, I think Wednesday, or by Wednesday, he's going to call Zelensky and tell him, hey buddy, go and talk with those guys. What, are you crazy? I mean, did you hear what the order was? We switch now. So to mediate potential peace talks between Ukraine and Russia, and Erdogan has shown a willingness to achieve that goal, the report added. In the event that negotiations seem possible, the United States and its allies will want to avoid being noticed as pushing Ukraine into negotiations with Russia, and I'm quoting, especially if that involves a formal arrangement that Russian-occupied areas in eastern Ukraine become Russian territory, end quote, the report said. They have to be very diplomatic, and I'm pretty sure the conversation among them is much different than the one that, or the outcome is packaged in a certain way for us than it's actually occurring between closed doors, which is normal, obviously. So obviously the Americans, they're not part of the war, so they don't want to seem to be, I'm talking about the leadership, they don't want to seem to be the ones actually pulling the strings on Ukraine's side. So they'll keep saying, we have nothing. Oh no, it's Ukrainians' decisions. When in fact we know that the Ukrainian four little pigs will not make a move without Russia, United States of America. And I don't know if they, the four little pigs of Ukraine, will obey. I have strong doubts that they might create a little short-lived revolution against the big master, which is Zimbabwe from across Atlantic. Why? Because they like it. If they will do what they will be told to do, they will kind of like wane away from notoriety or being so important people. All of a sudden will just be like any other corrupt country with its leaders that are just billionaires, and the nation that they rule over is poor as fuck. So this is what it seems to me, at least, and the Americans try not to show that they are in charge of everything. And if these guys, the four little pigs, are refusing to follow orders, or either they will just disappear all of a sudden, or lose support from everyone, and Russia will just take over, because these guys, the Ukrainian army, without the NATO support, realistically cannot face the Russian army, however you want to put it. So I think that negotiations are the best option for both of them, including Russia. Russia, if they want to do something, they must increase the number of fighters and bring the big guns, which I have no doubt they still have them. But this is not their war, like the, oh my god, it's all or nothing. This is like a little over there. They try to use the minimum. Why? It might be a bigger war that would spring out of this one, or another war to fight in Syria, or another war to fight in the Balkans, or another war to fight in Iran. So I don't think the Russians are pulling everything here. Actually, I think they put maybe, I would say 10% that effort. That's how much I think they put. And they're willing to use the guys in the eastern Ukraine to be the main fighters. Kadyrov and his fighters, the mercenaries, the volunteers, all those guys. And the Russian army is, as it is, 100,000, 200,000 people. That's not the Russian army. The Russian army is more than 1 million, and it should be, because it has a capability of having about 30 million if they mobilize general mobilization. So they have 200,000. What is that? Nothing. 300,000, 400,000, really? They're not fighting with everything they have. But anyway, let this weasel think that they're winning because Russia cannot beat them. And Putin is laughing his ass off. Anyway, I hope they pressure these guys into finishing this war, and Ukraine will leave as it is. Those will stay in Russia. Russia will, whatever it got, they're gonna be theirs. And there'll be an understanding, and probably Ukraine will not join NATO. No, probably, certainly will not join NATO. Will be an understanding between the big guys, and we'll see. We'll see if they allow us to see. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.